Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris, and today I'm looking at the upcoming EP by Être. It's called Human. So I've just got a quick one for you all today. For those of you who didn't see my posts about this semi-recently, I was approached by band Etre. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, sorry. I was asked by them to cover their upcoming EP ahead of its official release on the 25th of February. It's called One Human. I presume that means we're going to get more in the future. I hope so, and I'll get into why I hope so in a moment. I was of course very happy to do that, and I really appreciate the band giving me early access to the EP ahead of its release, so thank you guys so much for that. So, Être are a Copenhagen-based prog metal band. They started out as South Harbour, but became what they are today after adding to their lineup in 2020 and going on to complete this EP in 2021, ready for its release very soon. Their music as South Harbour, I believe, still exists on Spotify. I've heard it, and it's pretty good stuff. It's very different to what we're going to get into today, but still pretty cool to see where the band got their start, so give it a listen if you're interested. There'll be links in the description below, obviously, so you can check out the band and all their work and whatnot and show them some support. So a couple tracks have been released already at the time of me recording this, so definitely go check those out. I'll leave links, of course, so you can find those songs specifically, and down there you'll also find a pre-save link for the EP as a whole as well, so definitely get on that to show the guys some support, help them with that dreaded algorithm, of course. However, if you haven't heard anything by this band yet, they claim to explore the world of prog metal and gather inspiration from other genres such as metalcore and post-rock, so expect some very grand atmosphere basically coming from this album. So right off the bat, we'll get into the first track, and I could tell right from the off that this EP was going to be right up my street. I love the somber intro. I'm going to use the word ethereal again, which I use a lot when reviewing prog that I like, but it's a very apt word, I think, to describe this kind of sound and why I really like it. It's just how I love an album like this, or EP like this, to start. It almost promises to the listener that what you're going to hear has quite a lot of layers to it and is quite grand in its scope, especially when the distorted guitars come charging in, making this intro feel like an epic start to the EP. Going off of that, I do really like the guitar work across the album as a whole. I love the high lead lines that work with the vocals, but also know when to back off, basically, to give things room to breathe and really give a nice ebb and flow kind of feel to it. The reference to post-rock is readily apparent right from the off, with a lot of atmosphere added to give the EP a very grand, as I said, scope, very grand feel. This opening track, Periloon, I think is how you pronounce it, is already out, so go check it out. It's a good showcase of what this band does well ahead of the official release. I really liked the second track, Fractured. It takes on a slightly darker tone than the first track. When it properly kicks off after about a minute or so, signalled by some really cool stabbing notes, it has a lot of groove to it and some really infectious rhythms. Almost had some like wheel vibes going on, albeit with a bit more atmosphere thrown in. It's that kind of circular riffing kind of thing that I talked about in Wheels' last album. It's really infectiously enjoyable to listen to, kind of prog metal guitar riffing. It peaks and dips throughout, which is done super smoothly, and I really liked the layered vocals, especially towards the end of the track. It made it feel suitably epic as it was approaching its end. Track 3, Into the Light. Someone likes delay. I mean, who doesn't? Probably the most ambient and held back song of the bunch. It takes quite a while before it reaches its peak, but that's by no means a bad thing. It's a very engaging song, even when it's at its most somber. When it does kick off, it has all the more impact because everything leading up to it was quite restrained. We also hear some like that, like machine gun style guitar playing, which is always quite cool. Don't have too much to say on track 3. It's solid. The Descent is fucking awesome. Had a brilliant flow to it. At no point feels you never feel its 6.5 minute length. The guitar work is again great, with some awesome chugging to give the whole thing so much weight, and I did catch that cheeky bit of harsh vocals behind the clean vocals during the heaviest bit of the song. Freya, I think it's how you pronounce your name, sorry, on the vocals really shines, especially on this one, with some really soaring high notes and a lot of emotional parts too when it's down lower. My favourite song of the EP, for sure, pulls no punches with this one. So we're already at the end of the album, but in much the same vein as The Descent, we have the closing track, Sea of Spectrum, which has already been released, so get on it. Another one on the longer side, it's the longest track on the album, just over 8 minutes. That's small potatoes to a lot of prog metal bands, but here it's the longest track, and again, it's very effective at not feeling as long as that. However, this one, in contrast to Descent, is more on the epic side, as opposed to that one's rather unapologetic sound. This is great because, as I bang on time and time again on this channel, I need closing songs to feel like closing songs. A big climax to see you to the end, and Sea of Spectrum does that for sure. Calm verses that will occasionally throw in some cool riffing, a huge sounding chorus, soaring melodies, and an ominous outro that feels like a closing moment. On the band's Instagram page, I very much have enjoyed their getting to know the band videos and whatnot, and one of the questions they were asked is, which is your favourite song? I believe all of them said Sea of Spectrum. I completely understand that. It is a really, really cool song. I prefer Descent. I just love that more brutal, punch you in the face approach, but Sea of Spectrum is a really, really solid prog metal piece as well, and a good choice to close the EP with this one. Overall, this is damn good effort from Être, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I've got that name wrong. It has all the hallmarks you would expect from progressive metal, basically. It's got ambience, it's got serenity, it's got atmosphere, and it knows how to grow into groovy as hell riffing, big epic choruses, some really good vocals. The vocals on this album are really, really impressive. Production-wise, it's solid and a good standard. It sounds massive when it needs to be. It sounds somber when it also needs to be that as well. For a first outing as this unit, Etre's EP, Human, is damn impressive. It is a great showcase of what this band are about and what we can expect from them going forward. It was only semi-recently when this new identity was revealed, so to come out swinging like this, the band have very much hit the ground running. We will be looking out for more from this band for sure. Makings of a really, really good prog metal band right here. So check out the pre-save link below. Check out what's been released already, and go show these guys some support because they've got some really good music brewing. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to the band for asking me to look at your work and for sending me the stuff ahead of time. Best of luck with the EP. Hope it's well received. It deserves it because it's really, really good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.